What's going on, everybody? ArenaNet just finished the live stream for the next Elite Spec beta for Guild Wars 2. And what can I say? This one was way cooler than the last one, and probably will be the coolest considering that we're getting all the medium armor next time, and probably I don't know. I think those two are going to compete closely, but I definitely think this was a lot cooler than the first reveal that they did, and there was a lot, for me at least, it was way cooler. But I'm very much looking forward to the next one because Ranger's in there and Ranger's my main, and I'm really hoping we get a pet spec. But I guess we'll find out. So starting off with the Revenant, they get a great sword, and that shit looks cool as fuck, man. I just love the great sword. The great swords are always fantastic and just super fun to use on every class. So having another great sword is good in my book. I was really hoping for like a Condi based great sword because I don't think we have a single one in the entire game that is Condi based. But last time we got a Condi based short bow, so kind of makes sense to have another power. But it's still kind of like, I wish there was. But it's kind of like longbow in that way where there's no... Actually, no, never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. Warrior longbow is Condi based. Anyway, yeah, greatsword is fucking cool. They have, technically two new legends that you can channel. I completely forget the names of them, but they have this alliance stance, which basically you could switch between two stances. In that stance, like all these different skills and shit. And there's an F2 skill where you could basically, swap all your different skills, or you could just use them in sequence. I'm not going to talk too much about these, but it seems really cool, and I think I'm most excited for the dialogue. They were talking about how Shiro might have some dialogue in there too, so I'm really excited to just see Shiro shit-talking the other dudes, because the other dudes killed Shiro. So yeah, it's really cool. Really excited for that new stance. I think the thing I'm most excited for, though, is that it's basically going full-on Daredevil and giving us 3 new dodges. But, the dodge animations are kind of the same shit, but they do different things. It's really fucking cool. It reminds me of the Dragoon Jump in Final Fantasy XIV, except just cooler because you can actually move it around, and it does a fucking shitload of damage. And there's lots of different options for it. And what I really, really like is that this is even more of a sustained machine than Revenant already is. How the fuck? But yeah. There seems to be, some traits and shit like that that really are great for sustain. I kind of forget the exact ones because today was just info overload. But yeah, it just looks really, really cool, really good for sustain. It's probably the least impressive out of all of them that was shown today, but it was still really cool. I'm just excited that Revenant's getting a great sword. I think that's like the most exciting thing here, is that Revenant's finally getting a great sword. So really excited about that. Moving into the Warrior. The Warrior, fucking Christ! Oh my God, the Warrior, dude. Okay, so I'm not a fan of the Warrior at all. I don't like the Warrior. I find it really basic and boring. But this is fucking anime as shit, and I love it. So basically, you get access to a new weapon called you get access to 2 weapons. You get an offhand pistol, and then you get a whole ass gunblade, which the gunblade is not what we speculated in that it's going to be a temporary weapon like Holosmith or whatever. No, you could permanently have it on. It's fucking cool, man. The skills on it are fucking awesome. The dragon trigger thing, which is basically your adrenaline, it's called different. It's called like flow or some stupid shit. I'm just gonna call it adrenaline. You build up that adrenaline over time, and you basically are able to unleash this super anime dragon trigger attack, which it goes into this new stance, which you have 5 new abilities you could use in there, and then you could fucking like leap forward and do a shitload of damage to people. You could just do a fucking shitload of single target. Oh my God, the Dragon Trigger looks so cool. And it's just really anime as shit. Like, I mean, let's be real here. This is fucking awesome. This was the coolest one that we've seen so far. This was just such a cool fucking spec. And I'm very excited for the Bladesworn. Offhand pistol also looks really cool. The traits look really good. They synergize well with the ammo skills and shit like that. And I'm very excited for this one, to say the least. It looks really fantastic. Elementalist is probably my favorite one. It's not like the best one, I would say, but it is definitely my favorite one because I love Elementalist so much. It's probably my second or third favorite class in the entire game. The hammer looks to be the coolest fucking weapon. Now, I laughed my ass off when they revealed hammer because everybody and their mother was bitching their fucking heads off, being like, "Oh, Elementalist doesn't get another ranged weapon." Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, guess what, fuckheads? It is pretty much a ranged weapon on fire and air. Now it's a 600 ranged weapon, but it's still a ranged weapon half of the time. Which, yeah, take that, fuckheads. Like, come on, people. I just laughed my ass off because all of these people were complaining for literally nothing just to get shat on the next day. It's so fucking funny to me. But yeah, the hammer looks super fun. 20 new skills. Well, technically there's, 26 because there's the chain attacks and melee on, you have earth and water, which are melee based, and then air and fire, which are ranged, more rangy based. Even though a lot of the times in this game you're in melee range because that's how you get stacking boons and shit like that. So for PvE players, I don't really see a fucking problem with another melee weapon, but I would have found it cooler because I always like melee weapons more. But yeah, it's still really cool. The attacks look fucking awesome. There's lots of utility on it. You could definitely do a damage build. You could do a support build. You could do like a Healy sort of build. There's tons of shit you could do that is really cool. You have the new profession mechanic, which is the Jade Sphere. So unfortunately, I was really praying we'd give another attunement, but that would be so much work because you'd have to do tons of new skills for every weapon. That just ain't gonna happen. But I was really hoping to get a new attunement. But the Jade Sphere. So it's essentially a sort of well that is based off of your current attunements. So there's 4 different Jade Spheres. They all have their own different bonuses. You lay them down. It's sort of like Scourge in a way. You lay its ass down and it does damage and it does different things. And it's really cool. I love the Jade Sphere. It looks fucking cool as shit. The themes behind it are really cool. The hammer looks so fantastic and really, really fun. And what is really cool is that there are so many combo opportunities and traits here. Like the amount of combos you could pull off because of the fact that the Jade Spheres and some skills create combo fields, and then there's also combo finishers on the hammer. There is just tons of potential to get a shitload of combos, a shitload of auras on here. It looks amazing. I absolutely love it. And the next one is the new buff that you go around in the trait tree, which is elemental empowerment. It essentially gives you bonuses to all of your stats. It's a stacking buff you can get. And there was one where your effectiveness on it's like increased. It was like a Grandmaster trait that was fucking crazy. This one's probably my favorite one, like I said, just because Elementalist is one of my favorite classes. But I would say the most impressive and most well designed out of all of them was definitely the Warrior this time around. But nonetheless, I'm excited for all of these. Unlike the first Elite Spec, I was really only excited for Necro. I am very much excited for all of these, and I will be doing builds probably for all of them because I know my shit on all these classes. I'm just really excited for this next one, man. It's going to be so good. I think my most played will probably be the third one, though, because the Ranger's in it. But this one I'm definitely going to play more than last time for sure. And I'm very much looking forward to this next Elite Spec beta on Tuesday. But anyway, that's going to cover it. That's my thoughts on all 3 of the specs. Just some brief thoughts on them. And yeah, peace.